Good night and welcome to another review of The Shield Doing a Couch. I'm your host Hector, and tonight we're going to talk about the new album by Northlane called Obsidian. So for those of you that don't know, Northlane is an Australian metalcore band that has some lineup changes. In 2014, they brought in the new singer Marcus Bridge, and that year they released, or the next year I think they released an album called Node. Then that's my favorite album from the band. I really enjoyed that one. And a few years ago they released Alien in 2019. That album, they started to experiment more with electronics in their music. And the question that you have to ask, do they continue with this electronic experimentation on their new album Obsidian? The answer is yes, and they do it more. There's more electronics on this one. Sometimes I think the electronics can overpower the album. So I just want to talk about a few tracks, and I want to highlight, the contrast and how the band experimented on this new release. So the album has 13 tracks, and it's I think a little bit more than 50 minutes in length. The album starts very strong with the song Clarity. Clarity starts like slower, building with the electronics, and then the guitar, crunchy guitar hits in, and the metalcore that they are known for, which at this moment is more like electronic core, if you will, takes over, and it's a really strong album opener, so I liked it out of the gate. Then they go to the lead single that they released prior to the album dropping, and it's called Clockwork, and Clockwork has some great vocals from Marcus on this one. It's very catchy. It's a very upbeat. The electronics on this song complement the guitar playing and the music, and they don't overpower the song. And that's why I think this is my favorite song from the album. It's very strong, and it really carries, it really shows that why they have that song as a single, because it's that strong. And I think when Northlane do this type of song where they can blend the electronics with the rock and metal that they play, the metalcore, they excel. But unfortunately, in this album, they let the electronic elements sometimes take over too much a little bit, and that for me kind of didn't do the album enough justice. Then they have a song called Echo Chamber, and Echo Chamber is a song that one is very electronic. The beat, you could feel like it's like you would be dancing in a club. Feel like this could have been played at the beginning of Blade, because that's so strong EDMs, and it's a fun song. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed that one, and the message and the lyrics is about people, echo chamber, everyone having discussions and shouting at each other, and the echo, because everyone has different opinions. So it's something that's been sang before in different ways. So this song to me is not a bad song. It's enjoyable. I think on repeat listens I warmed up to it a little bit more. Also, a song like Carbonized I thought was strong too. They used a lot of electronics with the guitar and the metalcore, but on this one sometimes I think the vocals got a little bit lost in the mix. I think the electronics, and there was too much things going on, and I think that made it sometimes hard to understand what Marcus was singing about, unfortunately, on this song. So that's why I think, even though that song is not bad, I think that takes over the song and made it less enjoyable for me. And then the problems with the album for me start more. I think the first half of the album is strong, but then on the second half of the album, the electronics take over the album, and it can get a little bit jarring and boring at times, because some songs, they have electronics that drag on. For example, on a song like Zen with an X-E-N, the song is not that bad, but the last 90 to 2 minutes is like a drone sound, very monotone, that doesn't do anything for me. And then they have a song like Is This a Test? That on that one I felt like they were trying to do like a Nine Inch Nails type of vibe, but they didn't get it quite right. At least that's my opinion. And then there's a song like Abomination, where you feel like it's EDM, very bombastic, but that's another song where the vocals kind of get lost in all that noise and you can't really understand what it's about, and that's why I thought it makes it suffer. And the album has a closing track, Dark Solitaire, that I thought was kind of weak. There's some other songs like Plenty, that's in the middle, that it's a song that is like a vibe song, but you know, it doesn't do much. It like stays in one type of sound, and there's not a whole lot of variation, so I didn't think it added enough to the album. So unfortunately, yeah, this is the thing with this album. The first half is very strong, and the second half not as strong, and they kind of lost me for a little bit. And while I was listening, repeat listens, I'm like looking like, when is this gonna end? And that's never a good sign when you can get bored with something, because it took away from the experience. And I think Northlane is at its best when it uses electronics, but sparingly, not just taking over the whole song. I like my guitars, and I like when they use it, but it doesn't overpower the song. Like in the past, something like that happened to Linkin Park when they did an album that there were no guitars, and to me, it suffered, you know. And like I mentioned before, Nine Inch Nails. You know, Nine Inch Nails is a band that uses electronics, but what they do, it's very hard to copy, and they just do it so well. So unfortunately, my verdict for this album is that it's not bad, it's not great, it's just average. You know, it could have been better, and I think that the band has the talent to do better. Maybe I'm wrong, you know, it's my opinion. Maybe there's people that thought that this is their best album. So leave me a comment. What did you think about the tracks? What were your favorite tracks? Were you disappointed by this album, or is it what you were hoping for? Don't forget to give me a like. If you like the videos that I'm putting out, don't forget to subscribe. I have more content on the way, more album reviews, more interviews, and more collaborations. So until next time, this is Hector, the Shield Doing the Couch, and I'll see you right here on the couch. Thank you, and good night.